Boarding a commercial flight places the modern passenger directly in the inescapable path of sustained, high-altitude particle bombardment. For those with high-mobility lifestyles, radiation is a constant, invisible variable. Managing this exposure involves active biological shielding to counter the effects of frequent transit. This comparison illustrates two ways we experience radiation. Medical clinics provide acute exposure, targeted, high-intensity bursts strictly regulated under the ALARA principle. Meanwhile, frequent flyers are subject to chronic atmospheric exposure, the sustained environment for high-mobility lifestyles. At cruising altitudes between 30 and 40,000 feet, the thinning atmosphere provides less protection from cosmic rays. Radiation levels here are approximately 100 times stronger than at sea level. These environments trigger different cellular responses. A medical scan causes an immediate, sharp spike in oxidative stress. Atmospheric exposure results in a quiet, cumulative DNA stress that compounds across multiple flights over months and years. Executives often meticulously plan their nutrition and sleep, yet this radiological accumulation frequently remains unaddressed in their health protocols. Standard recovery for jet lag focuses on the circadian rhythm, but the deeper biological challenge of high-mobility travel is the accumulation of cellular radiation. To understand the scale of this exposure, we can measure travel and medical radiation on the microsievert scale. A 5-hour commercial flight delivers a dose of 45 microsieverts. Increasing the duration of transit leads to deeper accumulation. A single long-haul flight reaches 110 microsieverts. A standard clinical chest X-ray measures 100 microsieverts. A single long-haul trip slightly exceeds this medical benchmark. Unlike rare medical scans, flights are often routine. This dose stacks with every trip, building a quiet total over the course of a travel season. This is in addition to the 2,400 microsieverts an individual absorbs annually from standard terrestrial background radiation. For further comparison, a targeted diagnostic scan of the abdomen reaches 10,000 microsieverts. A year of global transit can eventually mimic the biological burden of multiple clinical X-rays. Because the physics of the atmosphere remains constant, the biology of the traveler must be adapted to handle the exposure. This data indicates that high-mobility schedules create a distinct radiological profile that differs significantly from a sedentary lifestyle. Specific compounds found in Indonesian functional foods have demonstrated the ability to function as biological shields. These phytochemicals are selected for their capacity to directly intercept oxidative stress and DNA breaks caused by atmospheric radiation. Ionizing radiation triggers lipid peroxidation, a chain reaction that destabilizes cell membranes. Temulawak, or Curcuma xanthorrhiza, serves as a countermeasure to this process. Its active curcuminoids inhibit the NF-kappa B and COX-2 inflammatory pathways, halting the destructive cycle at the cellular level. Clinical tests at a 6-gray irradiation level show that temulawak lowers malondialdehyde levels, stopping the progression of cellular damage. A more severe threat involves cosmic particles directly severing human DNA strands. To address this, Kelor, Moringa oleifera, is used for its repair capabilities. Kelor modulates the p53 DNA repair pathway, assisting the cell in restitching the genome. When tested against 4-gray gamma exposure, Kelor reduces these dangerous chromosomal aberrations at a rate comparable to standard synthetic clinical agents. These phytochemical strategies provide the means to combat transit radiation, provided they are applied according to the body's internal timing. Health-conscious travelers often take heavy antioxidants or detox supplements during the flight or immediately upon landing. Data indicates that this immediate supplementation is biologically suboptimal. Chronobiology and radioprotection suggests that the timing of the intervention determines the overall effectiveness of the shield. The central activation curve shows the biological response beginning at hour 0 and increasing over time. In the first several hours after a flight, the body is managing acute stress. Botanical interventions introduced here are poorly absorbed. The repair pathways only become fully receptive to recovery a full day later, marking the start of the optimal window. Research confirms that starting a targeted protocol approximately 24 hours after irradiation results in significantly better bone marrow recovery compared to immediate ingestion. This delay allows the natural acute stress response to cycle through, creating a window where phytochemistry can reach maximum efficacy. Applying biological interventions to an unprimed system reduces their efficiency. Effective radioprotection follows a calculated, timed intervention aligned with the body's repair cycle. These radiobiological findings can be organized into a 3-phase protocol for global transit. Phase 1 occurs in flight during active bombardment. The focus here is slowing lipid peroxidation through mild continuous intake of matcha for EGCG and walnuts for vitamin E. Phase 2 is the 24-hour period following the flight. This stage requires aggressive hydration while deliberately avoiding heavy supplementation to allow the acute stress response to conclude. Phase 3 begins at the 24-hour mark, when the optimal window for heavy biological shields opens. At this point, Jamu Kunyet Asam provides the temulawak necessary for deep liver and kidney detoxification. Traditional Balinese tempeh is added to provide the probiotics and bioavailable protein required for systemic microbiome repair. Finally, mangosteen provides the xanthones needed to upregulate PCNA for chromosomal repair. Global travel provides immense opportunity, but it carries a consistent biological cost. Traditional Indonesian functional foods, when used with chronobiological precision, provide a verifiable defense against these modern environmental stressors. Sustainable high mobility relies on aligning global movement with the specific requirements of radiobiology.